Hi everyone, welcome to a Stamping to Share video. My name's Kate Kalthoff and we are going to create this absolutely gorgeous Dragonfly card today. I'll be giving you exact measurements so that your borders can look exactly as perfect as mine do. And we are using the stamp set called Dragonfly Dreams. Now this can be purchased as a bundle, which I would highly recommend. In fact, you save 10% on the stamp set and the thinlits if you purchase them as a bundle. However, today we are just using the Dragonfly Dreams stamp set. We're also using the watercolor wash background stamp that is available also from Stampin' Up! And you can see what an absolutely gorgeous sky and water that this makes on your card. I also used the watercolor wash with the High Tide stamp set, and I'll provide a link for that. If you're on YouTube, you'll be able to see that when you click See More. All right, so let me go ahead and share with you the exact details of how to create this wonderful card. So we are going to start with a bunch of layers. The first thing we're going to need is a card base, and I have a smoky slate basic card base here, which is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. So I'm just going to take my bone folder, I'll fold this along the score line and give this a nice press so that the card will lie flat for us. The next layer is a layer of basic black. It's 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm just going to go ahead and put this on my card right now, and I'm going to do that with some multi-purpose liquid glue. And we can flip this around and just center this in so it is even all the way around. Okay, so we'll press that into place. The next layer is Island Indigo. This is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And again, I'm going to layer this right on top of my card with a little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue. And again, we'll just center this in so that all of our layers are nice and even, or I should say all of our borders are nice and even. All right, and now we're going to do our stamping. So I'm going to put this base aside and I'm going to grab my Stampin' mat. So the first thing that we're going to need is the watercolor wash stamp set. And I'm going to start by inking up the top part of this stamp set with Soft Sky. And I'm just following, you can see that these swooshes kind of go up to the left when you have the stamp set upside down. So I'm just sort of following those swoosh lines, because now what I'm going to do is take Marina Mist, and we're going to just stamp the bottom half, or not even the bottom half, I would say the bottom 1/3 of this stamp set with Marina Mist. And now we're just going to take a piece of Whisper White paper, and this is the exact measurement that I was talking about, because I can get really finicky about measurements, so you have to bear with me. You can just ignore this and do your own thing. But what I did is I did 3 3/8, because we're going to be cutting this into thirds, and so each of these strips will be 1 1/8. So width-wise, we need 3 3/8, and then because we're layering it over the Island Indigo, and we want our center pieces, the little, let me get the card again. We want these little center strips to be about the same width as the side strips and this bottom strip here. And so to make that perfect, we need this kind of weird measurement for the height, which is 4 13/16. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll grab this Whisper White piece, and I am going to just put that right over the top of my wash. Then I'm going to just take a piece of scrap paper here, and this is our grid paper from Stampin' Up! I really, really like it. Typically I'm working at my desk and I've got the full size sheets, but this is nice. You can cut it into 4ths exactly, and it fits right over the top of our Stampin' mats. All right, so let's pull this away and see how it came out. Oh, look at that. It's just gorgeous, isn't it? Doesn't this look like water and then sky? A perfect environment for our Dragonfly. So let's go ahead and get that Dragonfly stamp. So we're gonna, again, this is a photopolymer stamp set, so it's a really good idea to do your stamping with photopolymers on a stamping mat from Stampin' Up! This is our Stampin' Pierce mat. All right, so the Dragonfly looks like this. We're going to ink him up with some Tuxedo Black Memento ink, which is perfect for inking up your photopolymer stamps. And now that this is fully inked up, I'm just going to flip this over and we are going to just stamp this right here. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? It's already just perfect. You could just cut it into strips and put it on your card. But we're going to add some additional details. One of the nice things about this stamp set is there is an overlay for the wings. And so I'm going to stamp that overlay with Bermuda Bay. So I'm just going to ink up those wings with Bermuda Bay. And then I'm going to do my best here. Let me pull it down a little bit so I can see, to make sure that we get this stamped fairly accurately. And there we go. So we have our Bermuda Bay overlay on our Dragonfly. And then we have another thing that we want to do here yet. We want to go ahead and take the Wink of Stella, and this is the clear Wink of Stella, and we are just going to draw over the top of these wings. And I will do this on all 4 of the wings to give the Dragonfly a little more shimmer and shine, like he is just having a great day in the sunshine here. All right, so I'll see if I can show this off to you by holding it up to the camera. It may or may not show the Wink of Stella very well, but know that it's there, and when you see it in real life, it looks amazing. So now what we need to do is we need to cut this into 1/8 inch strips. So actually, I did go ahead and do this in advance, and this is my panel to show you. So I did stamp this in advance, but I did exactly what we had just done previously here. So these are 1 1/8 strips, and what I did is I just took that Whisper White panel that I showed you in the beginning, and then I cut that at 2 1/4 and then 1 1/8, which will make 3 strips all exactly even. And this is what we're going to put onto the front panel of our card. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's bring the card back into the picture, which looks like this. And I'm going to use Snail to do this. So we're going to start by doing the 2 side panels first. That way we know everything is going to be nice and even when we do this. So I'm just going to scoot this over so that we have about the exact same amount of border on the top, on the bottom, and the side. Then we're going to do the same thing with the right panel. Again, I'm using a little bit of Snail, and we're going to put this right here. And the reason I use Snail on Whisper White is I don't want the glue lines to show through. Whisper White is a super smooth cardstock, as is Very Vanilla, and sometimes over time you'll get those glue lines, and I don't want that. So that's why I always use Snail with Whisper White and Very Vanilla. Now we're just going to center this one in, and you can see how these lines are all coming out perfectly. So we'll add this one in right here. Get that all centered in. All right, it's perfect. So let's go ahead and press this into place. And now we want to add a sentiment here at the front. And so we're going to go ahead and bring in our Stampin' mat. And then I used one other item here. I used the gift card envelope, and there is a certain die in the gift card envelope that I go to time after time, and it's this little banner die here. So I used crumb cake paper, and I just ran it through the Big Shot machine with this banner from gift card envelope. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to stamp the sentiment right here. So I am going to use Island Indigo ink, and I'm going to take the sentiment, which says, "To a wonderful friend." And because it is a photopolymer stamp, I can see exactly where I am stamping. I'm going to stamp it a little bit more to the right, because that way I'm going to have room here on the left to put a little accent. So now I'm just going to flip this over, add a little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue on the back, and bringing the card into the picture, I'm going to set this down here, and I'm going to line this up with the black panel right here. Maybe scoot it up just a little bit more. There we go. And then to just give this a little bit more interest here on the front of the card, I am going to take an enamel shape. And our enamel shapes come in subtles, regals, and brights. And I'm going to use the regal pack, and I'm going to grab the Island Indigo dot here. And I think I'll just use this sort of medium-sized dot, and I'll set this right here on the left side of that sentiment, just to give that a nice little accent on our card. Now we can go ahead and stamp the inside panel. So again, I'm going to use Tuxedo Black. I'm going to take my inside sentiment, which is thanks for the smile and everything else. So that's going to go right here. And our card is complete. So let me get this out of the way. So this is the card we just did, and this is the card we did in advance. Thank you so much for joining me today. It was a pleasure to share this tutorial with you. Have a great day, and please be sure to stop by either my YouTube channel, my Facebook page, or my blog and see what else I've been up to. Have a great day. I truly appreciate you. Bye-bye.